Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt's daughter Shiloh has just made a move that's turning heads everywhere, and it's more than just a teenage rebellion. The 18-year-old, who grew up in the unforgiving spotlight of Hollywood royalty, has legally dropped her father's last name and officially rebranded herself. Meet Shiloh Jolie, or, as she recently styled herself on the dance scene, Shi Joli. Yes, the daughter once known as Shiloh Jolie-Pitt has taken a decisive and very public step in reclaiming her identity. The name change wasn't just symbolic, it was legal, official, and entirely on her own terms. According to recent reports, Shiloh filed the paperwork on her 18th birthday in May 2024, marking the moment she came of age with a bold declaration of independence. But here's where it gets even more impressive. She didn't rely on her superstar parents to navigate the legal maze. Shiloh hired her own lawyer, funded the process herself, and even paid to publish the required legal notice in the Los Angeles Times, as per California law. For someone raised in the limelight, Shiloh handled the transition with surprising privacy, until now. Fast forward to a glamorous Los Angeles fashion event, where Shi Joli made her debut at a capsule launch for Isabel Marant and Net-a-Porter. But she wasn't just another celebrity offspring posing for the cameras. She was behind the scenes, serving as choreographer for a dance performance at the event, showcasing her creativity and love for the arts. And with that moment, the world got a first look at Shiloh stepping into her own, not as Brad and Angelina's daughter, but as an artist, a dancer, and a young woman with her own identity. What's even more telling is that Shiloh is not the only Jolie-Pitt kid making this shift. Her sister Zahara introduced herself as Zahara Jolie at her Spelman College sorority ceremony. And Vivienne? She was credited simply as Vivienne Jolie in the playbill for the Broadway adaptation of The Outsiders, which she worked on with her mom. One by one, Angelina's kids are quietly but clearly distancing themselves from the Pitt surname, and in turn, from their father. Now, this brings us to the not-so-glamorous side of the story. The Jolie-Pitt family dynamic has been complicated for years. Since Angelina filed for divorce from Brad in 2016, citing irreconcilable differences and an incident on a private plane involving Brad and their children, tensions have only grown. Their divorce was officially finalized in December 2024, but the emotional wounds appear far from healed, especially where the kids are concerned. Sources close to Brad Pitt claim he's heartbroken over the growing rift with his children, particularly Shiloh. Once considered the peacemaker of the family, Shiloh's decision to drop his name reportedly came as a painful surprise. And let's not forget, this isn't just a typical celebrity family falling apart. It's a very public unraveling of one of Hollywood's most iconic legacies. But if you look closer, Shiloh's decision isn't about tearing anyone down, it's about building herself up. For years, she's been quietly training as a dancer under renowned choreographer Colanie Marks at the Millennium Dance Complex in L.A. And the feedback? Glowing. Colanie has publicly praised Shiloh's work ethic and talent, even comparing her growth to some of the best young performers in the industry. So what does all of this mean? It means that Shiloh, or Shi Joli, is no longer content to be a background player in her parents' ongoing drama. She's stepping into her own spotlight, carving a path that's entirely hers. And that path doesn't include the weight of a last name tied to a father she seems determined to distance herself from. Still, the question remains, will this inspire even more of the Jolie-Pitt children to make the change? Will Maddox, PAX, and Knox follow suit? And how will this impact Brad Pitt, whose public image has already taken hits over the years from court battles and strained relationships with his kids? One thing is clear, this is more than just a name change. It's a cultural moment, a generational shift, and a quiet, powerful message from a young woman growing up in one of Hollywood's most scrutinized families. I'm not just someone's daughter, I am my own person. And now, the world knows my name. If you want more updates on celebrity families, Hollywood bombshells, and the real stories behind the glam, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like this video. Because the truth is, behind every headline, there's always more to the story.